go. Georgia state line. Georgia. Georgia. Welcome to Georgia. We're glad Georgia's on your mind. Governor Brian Kemp. Well, we made it. We're less than 45 minutes to Atlanta now. Getting close to the Eastern time zone. Entering Eastern time zone.
Yep.
Man, I called it. Our first stop on day 2 of our road trip was the Chattahoochee River National Recreation Area. So I'm sure you guys have all heard the song Chattahoochee by Alan Jackson, but Chattahoochee River National Recreation Area, it says that the Chattahoochee River, locally called the Hooch, is now a cherished feature of Atlanta. But it wasn't always so. Pristine areas along the Chattahoochee River were nearly lost to development in the 1960s. A grassroots initiative formed to raise awareness of these special places. It prompted action to protect the river corridor. In 1978, this 48-mile stretch of river was designated a unit of the National Park Service. So that's what we're at. We got our stamp. The boys are doing their junior ranger program. Here's a little list. One of the cool things right here about this area is Island Ford, and it says, when the Chattahoochee ran wild without dams, people crossed at shallow sections called fords. The historic ford near here was used for generations. It was the main crossing point utilized by both sides during the Civil War. The river here is a prime fishing spot. The boat ramp provides easy access. It's a good put in or take out location. So let's go take a glance at the river. I can hear it down there. It sounds beautiful. The word Chattahoochee originates from the Creek Muskogee word meaning painted rock. Chattahoochee River. Nice. It's a little muddy. Very clear. Oh, I seen a fish jump. Very pretty river. Somebody's fishing. They got them some night crawlers there. Where they're at. River access, Island Ford, mile 320. But here's the old Chattahoochee. Some of these houses around here are big and pretty. I just realized I can't come all the way here and not touch the water. So, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's too muddy there. Let me come over here. The old Chattahoochee. Brr. Says even in the summer it's usually less than 50 degrees because it gets let out of the lake from a dam upstream now, and water is really cold down deep. So I don't know if you can see them. See those big houses over in there? All right, well, next. This is a pretty place. There's a big Georgia pine. Lots of big pines around. Some pretty trails if you ever get a chance. You need to get out and get some fresh air around the Atlanta area. Some really pretty wilderness, peaceful nature right here on Chattahoochee River. A lot of history here too, from the Revolutionary War and the Civil War. And before that, the Indians. A lot of current to it. Can't believe people used to be able to ford the river right here. There's the little island out there. I guess that's Island Ferry maybe. But, you know, this is February. It's February 5th. And you need a light jacket maybe, but how awesome. Big rock formations. Very cool. Miley and the boys are up at the visitor center working on their junior ranger program. Let's go see what they have going on. Okay, for a picnic. Hello.
Hello.
Chattahoochee. Look what we found. Is this a cottonmouth? No, it's a midland water snake. A harmless water snake that mostly sleeps during the day, this common aquatic snake is sometimes confused with the far less common cottonmouth water moccasin, a venomous pit viper. Did you know killing non-venomous snakes is against Georgia law? We're here. And then Chattahoochee River. Used to be a lot of mills on the river, paper mills and grist mills. Look at this cool thing over here. We've got our stamps, and it says Montgomery's Ferry around 1900 is what that picture is. Until about 1880, a ferry was the only way to cross the Chattahoochee. You still might get wet. Ferry fare ranged from 25 cents for a one-horse, two-wheeled open carriage to 62 cents for a fully loaded wagon. The boys are over here doing their Junior Ranger program. Trying to finish up. And here's a cool old map. It's an 1813 map that shows the Chattahoochee River as the southwestern border of the state of Georgia, and Creek and Cherokee Indian tribes held the land between Old Mulgee and the Chattahoochee rivers. Notice that Fulton, DeKalb, Cobb, and Gwinnett counties didn't exist yet. So all of this was Indian, was treated off for Indians. This was for Georgia in 1813, but it says in 1830, the Indian Removal Act forced the Creek and Cherokee off their lands. Sad. And here it says fish weirs are stones or wooden walls built into a stream. The walls funnel the fish to a small area. They're easier to catch. Traces of ancient weirs tell us that people have fished this part of the Chattahoochee River for millennia. And there's a little bit of remnants of one they found on the Chattahoochee River. And to tie in with the Civil War stuff, it says Marietta Paper Company, Soap Creek. In 1859, a trip to the river might have meant a trip to work. The Marietta Paper Company employed dozens of workers in the paper mill. Union troops burned the mill during the Civil War because it is thought to have made the paper for thousands of dollars of Confederate money. The Soap Creek Mill was rebuilt in 1868 and operated until 1902. Today, only the stone wall remains. And there's a little bit of Confederate $20. Who's it got on it? I don't know, Richmond? I'm not sure who that is. We're going to check out two other places today. Kennesaw Battlefield and Stone Mountain, all near Atlanta. Kennesaw Mountain and the Atlanta Campaign. Kennesaw Mountain National Battlefield Park is a 3,000-acre park that preserves a Civil War battleground of the Atlanta Campaign. In 1864, opposing forces maneuvered and fought here from June 19th until July 2nd. Although most famous as a Civil War battle, Kennesaw Mountain has a much richer history. Walking through the museum here at Kennesaw Mountain. We saw the film about the battle, and it said 3,000 Union soldiers died and 1,000 Confederate soldiers died. And even though it basically was a victory numbers-wise for the Confederates, in the long run they ended up letting Atlanta fall, and even though the soldiers for the Union didn't feel like it was a victory, America, the North, did. It's a heck of a cannon. Sherman's march to the sea. After burning Atlanta, Sherman sets out for Savannah. 6,200 men. 62,000 men, except for Joe Wheeler's cavalry and a few Georgia militia. There are no Confederate troops to oppose. Nice little fountain. Stone Mountain Park coming in here. Cool. Thank you. Remember, we took a very similar trip on our first family vacation in 2015. We were retracing our footprints at many of our stops, including Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Get in the car and go up there.
The ring itself is 190 feet wide. Carving goes back into the mountain 42 feet. You can actually put 2 school buses side by side on the back end of Traveler, the hearse in the middle. A 6-foot man or woman
One of
fit inside
Atlanta's
the mountain
favorite destinations for family fun. It's 3,200 acres of natural beauty and unique attractions. It's the South's version of Mount Rushmore.
Well, they built a staircase up to the top.
I see. I'm taking pictures so I got
like a little platform.
You missed it right here, sorry.
Oh, Dad, go right there.
Now that carving is the largest carving in the United States. It's actually 30 feet bigger than Mount Rushmore.
Oh, see, here's the
Which way is it?
Alrighty, get ready. Here comes our tilt forward and back. One more time, forward and back. Now to the right there is the skyline of Atlanta. That's about 20 miles away from us. You'll be able to see it better when you get out on top of the rock.
It's like being on the moon or something.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Idiot.
I got too cocky. Oh, my feet are getting kind of cold now. Just see that
You
one?
shouldn't jump in the pond.
It's soaked, my dudes.
Hey, we're gonna have a video of we're doing something clumsy on every trip.
What do you mean? That wasn't clumsy.
We're on top. You can see Atlanta down over there. Right over there.
Wow.
Cool.
Come on, brother. Don't die.
White pigeons. Pine cone contest. Whose pine cone can make it down the Stone Mountain farthest? Are y'all ready?
Yep.
Are you rolling?
Pine cone.
Yeah,
Whoever
roll
goes
your
the
first.
farthest.
Roll your first.
Ready? Go.
Is it rolling?
Roll your first one. Yeah. See who goes the farthest. Mine's going right now. Oh, it's gonna stop in that little crack. Oh.
Mine's going the distance.
Mine's the one in the middle.
Mine got stopped.
Mine's the fun one. Mine's going. Mine's still
Dad's
going.
got a.
It kept
Mine's still
going.
going.
Mine's going.
Mine's still going.
right there?
Yes.
That one's fierce.
Oh, it's still going, guys.
Oh, yours is done. Dad's
Mine's
still
going.
going though.
It looks like a little bird.
Oh, it
going.
made it.
Oh.
What is it doing to stop?
Finally.
As the continents began a collision course, they continued to come together. Ocean islands smashed into the North American continent. The continents converged and eventually collided about 300 million years ago. The steady but unimaginable force of the two colliding masses buckled and fractured the Earth, creating the Appalachian mountain chain to the west. The extreme pressure from the collision created pooling magma below the Earth's surface. One of these magma pools later became known as Stone Mountain. After a few million years of cooling, Stone Mountain solidified 8 to 10 miles below the Earth's surface. Stone Mountain granite is more resistant to erosion than the surrounding countryside. For 285 million years, the 8 to 10 miles of land above the mountain wore away, leaving Stone Mountain standing almost 800 feet tall.
Now, the carving was started in 1923.
Oops.
It took a total of 47 years to get that carving completed. It was finally finished in May of 1970. The reason why it took so long was that they ran out of money in 1928. They had 2 figures completed on that carving, Confederate President Jefferson Davis and General Robert E. Lee. But they ran out of money in 1928, and that carving sat there for 30 years. Untouched, nothing was done with it from 1928 to 1958. Well, in 1958, the state of Georgia came along. They bought Stone Mountain and the land around it. The state said, we're going to make this a state park, and we want that carving completed. So in 1964, the work on the carving resumed. And the carving was finally finished in May of 1970 with the addition of Stonewall Jackson being added to the side of the mountain.
12 feet, 4 plants, Washington. That's a pretty cool bridge.
Yeah, I can get that waterfall.
Say cheese.
Okay, this time I'm really yanking.
No.
Hurry up.
I won't get pulled down. If I do, it'll make a funny video.
Don't land on your head or it'll be game over.
Okay, so.
Come on, you don't wanna. You wanna get up here, right?
Yeah, I do. I can't.
Give me this.
A straight cut of chalk line was drawn across the rock and holes were drilled along it and split the rock into different shapes and sizes. Look for these holes in the photo. Splitting the stone. Early corpsmen hammered wooden wedges into cracks in the granite and poured water into the crack to expand the wood and split the rock. Look, this is some of the places where the granite has gone to that's been quarried here at Stone Mountain. Anyways, Oklahoma City State Office Building, Tulsa Courthouse, post offices in Ardmore, Chickasha, Blackwell, Reno, Kingfisher, Lawton, McAllister, Norman, Okmulgee, Ponca City, Seminole, and Tulsa. Pretty crazy.
I'll stand up this time.
Japan, Canada, the Canal Zone, and Balboa Dry Dock, and the Panama Canal locks.
Okay.
Galveston, Union Depot, John Seeley Hospital, Dallas Courthouse, El Paso Street, Patrick's Church. Pretty cool.
Ready?
First time we did it perfect.
It's filming.
You're not even making it.
Last time, I don't got time to waste footage.
Alright, ready?
First time we did it perfect.
Man, what great memories. It is crazy to see how big these kids have grown. They aren't babies anymore. Time can really get away from us, so I encourage all of you guys watching to get out and explore. Surround yourself by the ones you love and go take an adventure. It doesn't matter if it's an out-of-state vacation or a trip to your local park. We had a lot of fun at Stone Mountain, both in 2015 and 8 years and 40 states later in 2023. The Chattahoochee River was gorgeous, and the Kennesaw Battlefield was a neat tad bit of history. Come join us as we check out Congaree Swamp and National Park. Make sure you come back next week for some mini golf and beach time at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and some fun and games at the College Football Hall of Fame. We just want to thank y'all for sticking it out till the end, and thank you for all of your likes, shares, and comments. We couldn't do it without you. Make sure you tune in for the next leg of our road trip. We have some neat places to show you and a close encounter with a gator. Don't forget to subscribe and click one of the 2 videos on the left of your screen to watch more of our road trip. Hurry, the video is almost over. Pick one. All right, again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.